way, now honored him as a god, okay, lowercase g, by the way, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices, okay? So this is what's going on today, all right? When our people celebrate December the 25th, when they celebrate so-called Easter, okay? Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law. Okay, so this is being kept as a law today, man. Going to your religious churchianity church on every Sunday and every Wednesday for Bible study. Okay, you're going even on the Sabbath. You know, with your denominations of Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists, the Mormons, or the morons, as we like to call it. Right. Verse 16 again. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong and was kept as law, and graven images, okay, graven images were worshipped by the commandment of kings, okay, by the kings of the other nations, verse 17, whom men could not honor in presence because they were dwelt far off. They took the counterfeit of his visage, okay, his looks, okay, from far, and made an express image of a king whom they honored, to the end that by this forwardness they might flatter him that was absent as if he were present. Okay, so this is what the people are doing today, man. They're flattering that false image in religious churchianity as he's alive today. All right, verse 18. Also, the singular diligence of the artificer did not help to set forward the ignorance to more superstition. All right, so a lot of our people are superstitious, man, right? Because they don't have that full, firm faith in the Most High. They're not fully, wholeheartedly serving Him and believing in Him, all right? And following His Son, Hamashiach. Verse 19. For he pre-adventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion. And so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god, okay, lowercase g again, which a little before was but honored as a man, okay? So that's all you're doing. You're worshiping men, all right? You're not worshiping the one and only true God and his anointed son, Hamashiach, all right? Verse 21. And this was an occasion to deceive the world, okay? For men served in either calamity or tyranny, did ascribe to stones and stocks, okay? What is those stones and stocks? That's your so-called Kaaba stone in Mecca, okay? And then you have your so-called wooden crucifix, all right, shaped in the image of a T, which basically goes back to Tammuz, all right, Nimrod's son of ancient Babylon, right? Verse 21 again from the top. And this was the occasion to deceive the world, for men serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe to stones and stocks the incommunicable name, okay, the incommunicable name, okay, what's that name? Allah, Muhammad, Buddha, Saint Mary. You're not supposed to be worshiping Hamashiach's mom, man, just because she's his mom. You're not supposed to be worshiping Saint Mary, okay, or Virgin Mary, all right? You're not supposed to be worshiping Lucifer in your secret societies, your ancient Kemetic Egyptian unks, man, all right? Horus, Osiris, the witch goddess, Isis, all right? You're not supposed to be worshiping these false idols, man, okay? Joining your secret societies and worshiping Lucifer, man. You're not supposed to be doing that, all right? That's why it says this here. To deceive the world, for men serving either calamity or tyranny did to stones and stocks the incommunicable name, all right? So when you're calling on these false deities and gods, man, the incommunicable name, you're blaspheming the Most High God of the Bible, man. And you're taking his name in vain by calling them him, which is the Most High, all right? You're not supposed to be doing that, man, all right? Okay, moving along, let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 11. Okay, we're in the book of Genesis, chapter 11, and we're going to go to verse 26, and it reads as follows. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father, Terah, in the land of his nativity, and Ur of the Chaldeans. All right. So what's the reason why I'm bringing that out there? That's in connection with this right here. Let's go to the book of Jubilees. And I'm going to let you know the reason why. Okay, we're in the book of Jubilees. And for those who's well familiar, we're on page 35. And I'm going to start at verse 2. And it reads as follows. And he said, what help and profit have we from these idols, okay, which thou dost worship, and before which thou dost bow thyself, okay? So a lot of our people, even back then, back in the ancient times, you know, a lot of our people was still worshiping false idols and false deities and gods, man, right? Let's read that again. What help and profit have we from these idols which thou dost worship, and before which thou dost bow thyself? Verse 3. For there is no spirit in them, okay? So there's no spirit in your Egyptian Ankh, okay? There's no spirit in your Buddha statue. There's no spirit in your Virgin Mary statue, okay? There's no spirit in your Krishna tattoo, all right? There's no spirit in your ancient Kemetic Book of the Dead, man, okay? For there is no spirit in them, for they are dumb forms and a misleading of the heart, which is the mind. Worship them not, okay? Verse 4, worship the Most High of heaven, which is the God of heaven, the power, the Elohim of heaven, right? Who causes the rain and the dew to descend upon the earth, and doeth everything upon the earth, all right? And have created everything by his word, okay? Who's also known as his word, his one and only true son, Hamashiach, that was sent into the world, right? He's his word made flesh, so to speak. And have created everything by his word. So the Most High created everything by Hamashiach, as it says in the book of Genesis chapter 1. Okay? And all life is from before his faith. Verse 5. Why do ye worship things that have no spirit in them? For they are the work of men's hands. So all of these things are work of the men's hands, man. Your Egyptian Ankh, okay? Your Kaaba stone, okay? You have your just like I said before, your Saint Mary or your Virgin Mary porcelain statue in the Roman Catholicism Church, the Roman Catholic Church. You have your wooden crucifix, okay, in a religious Christianity church. Okay, all of those things are works of man's hands, man, as it says here. Right? Why do ye worship things that have no spirit in them? For they are the work of men's hands, and on your shoulders do ye bear them, and ye have no help from them. So you're not going to have no help from your wooden crucifix, your Egyptian Ankh, okay, your Buddha statue, all right? But they are a great cause of shame to those who make them, and a misleading of the heart to those who worship them. Worship them not. Verse 6. And his father said unto him, I also know it, my son, but what shall I do with a people who have made me to serve before them? Verse 7. And if I tell them the truth, okay, which is not to serve those false, vain idols and follow their false philosophies, right? And if I tell them the truth, they will slay me, for their soul cleaveth to them to worship them and honor them. Keep silent, my son, lest they slay thee. And these words he spake to his two brothers, and they were angry with him, and he kept silent. Okay, so his two brothers, okay, which was Haran and Nahor, they was into idol worship. Okay, that just goes to show that the lineage of Abraham was the chosen lineage of the Most High, because he kept the Most High's ways, not Nahor, not Haran. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm bringing this out in Jubilee from Genesis. Okay, because that relates to this right here. That lets you know who was truly serving the Most High. Was it either Nahor, Abraham, or Haran? Okay, so let's go to 2 Peter chapter 2. I'm gonna try to speed this up here a little bit. I didn't expect it to go over 1 hour, but when you're doing the work of the Most High, it doesn't really matter how long it take, right? So we're in the book of 2 Peter chapter 2, and I'm gonna go down to verse 9, and it reads as follows. The Most High knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations. Okay, what is temptations? That's the urge to commit sin, right? Salakia. This mic falling down. Verse 9 again from the top. The Most High knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, to be punished. Okay, so this is what the Most High is doing with the unjust, man, the sinners of the world. Okay, especially of the other nations. They think that they're getting away with all the atrocities that they're doing to our people on a daily basis, man. But they're not getting away. The Most High sees everything, man. He's omnipresent. Okay, so he sees everything. He knows what's going on, and he's reserving them for the day of judgment, man. Right, as it says here, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, to be punished. All right, but chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Okay, so just like I said in the book of Apocrypha, it says that the ungodly hate righteousness. Okay, they hate the godly, the sinners. It's an abomination unto them. All right, to let them know that they're in sin. All right, they're not afraid to speak bad about godly people, talking about what we're doing is wrong. Oh, you're keeping the commandments. We're not supposed to be keeping the commandments. We're in for everlasting grace. We don't have to keep the Sabbath. We can work on the Sabbath if we want to. What are you doing keeping the commandments? What are you doing keeping a high holy day? What are you doing wearing those fringes? All right, talking about that you're not celebrating your birthday no more. All right, so this is basically speaking evil of the dignities, man. All right, but we're keeping the ways in the Most High, man, as it says here again, right? But chiefly them, okay, them, the sinners, the so-called two-thirds, right, that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government. Okay, the government is the laws, basically, of the Most High, right? Presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Verse 11. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Most High. Verse 12. And these are natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed. Okay, so they're going to be destroyed, man. Speak evil of things that they understand not. Okay, and they shall utterly perish in their own corruption. All right, so a lot of these people, man, they're going to perish in their own corruption. They're going to perish in their sin. Okay, verse 13. And shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spots they are blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings. Okay, so this is what you see going on today in music. All right, and the so-called hip-hop community. All right, I don't even really call it true hip-hop, man. All of this is just a whole bunch of fake hoopla, right? But you know, they up in there, they're flaunting their fake jewelry, their rented jewelry, they're flaunting their fake money, their rented cars, like they're big shots, like they're living the high life, right? So this is what the Bible says about them, man. Spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings, while they feast with you. Okay, so they're feasting with us, man. They call themselves making us music that we can enjoy. Okay, they're enticing us to sin by all of the nonsense that they're putting in their so-called music. Okay, it ain't nothing but a bunch of murder, stealing, fornication, adultery, idolatry. Okay, worshiping their Caesar Borgia's piece. I'm not even going to call it a Jesus piece because that's exactly who he is. He's Caesar Borgia. Okay, you have your Egyptian unk, you have your Egyptian tattoos all over you. Okay, you're practicing witchcraft, homosexuality, lesbianism. Okay, all of this sinful things they're putting in our music. Okay, mainly in our communities with our people, man. So a lot of our people are gatekeepers, man, for this so-called secret society that I'm speaking of, right? And it's causing our people to sin. It's causing our people to go astray from the Most High. It's causing our people to forget the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, okay? And become unbelievers in the Most High in Hamashiach, okay? So that's why it says this again, man. Spots they are, and blemishes, all right? Sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you, verse 14. Having eyes full of adultery, all right, as I said before, right? And can not cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls, okay? So this is what they're doing. They're fooling unstable souls, man, that's driven with diverse lusts, all right? Not to say that lust itself is a sin, but the people who have a desire of covetousness, okay, to sin, all right? Beguiling unstable souls and heart that they exercise with covetous practice, as I said before, right? Cursed children, which have forsaken the way and are gone astray, all right? Following the way of Balaam, the son of Bezor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness, all right? So this is what a lot of people are doing within our nation of people, man. They love the wages of unrighteousness, all right? They're selling themselves, okay? They're giving themselves over to Satan himself for filthy lucre, all right? For riches, for unrighteous riches. Okay, that's not to say that money itself is evil, but the things that you do for that money is evil, right? Because not every gift is from the Most High, man. You know, you got a lot of sinners out here that's doing the work of Satan, and they're being rewarded for that. Okay, so that's the reason why it's called unrighteous riches, right? Who loved the wages of unrighteousness, verse 16, but was rebuked for his iniquity. Okay, once again, what is iniquity? Sin. What is sin? The transgression of the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, right? The dumb ass speaking. Okay, so that's just to let you know there is so-called curse words in the Bible, man. All right. So ass is basically not really a curse. A curse is when you say, I hope someone get hit by a car, or I hope someone gets struck by lightning or whatever, or I hope someone get hit by a stray bullet. That's a curse, man. I hope you get sick. I hope you die or whatever. All right. And what you're not supposed to wish death on anyone or any kind of curse. But that's what you would call a curse, man. But just using vulgar language like, say, you know, the F word, just to keep it PG-13, right? The F word, the S word, the A word, ass, as it says here. That's letting you know that this is not really a curse, man. An ass is literally a donkey, okay? A half horse, half mule, for those who don't know, right? Verse 16 again from the top. But was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass speaking with man's voice forbade the madness of the prophet. Okay, who was the prophet? Balaam. All right, the one that Balak wanted to use to curse the children of Israel to see if they were in sin. But at that time, at the wilderness, the children of Israel wasn't in sin, so Balak wasn't able to curse them. So that just goes to show, man, the only way that people can destroy you, just as I said in my previous videos that I made before, the only way that the other nations can destroy you, the ones who hate you, is if you're in sin. That's why this society push so hard to keep our people in sin, because they know that they can get the green light to destroy us from the Most High, man. Because the Most High hates when his people was in sin. Okay, so that's the main issue there, man. The main objective is for them to keep us in sin so they can get the green light from the Most High to destroy us, because we're no longer protected by his angels. So this is why you must, as a nation of people, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent, you must keep the commandments of the Most High, man. You have to. All right. Verse 16 again. But was rebuked for his iniquity, the dumb ass speaking with man's voice, forbade the madness of the prophet. Verse 17. These are wells without water, clouds that are carried with a tempest, to whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever. Okay? So if you're not teaching anything concerning the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High and his one and only true son, Hamashiach, then you're basically considered a well without water, man. The water is the knowledge of these scriptures here. Okay? Verse 18. For when they speak great swelling words of vanity, okay, so that's basically, that can be precept to the scripture about the leaven, okay, a little bit of leaven the whole lump, okay. So if you telling someone that they can sin a little bit, oh, you can break the Sabbath, it's okay, the Most High is going to understand, you have bills to pay, you have a job to keep, you have a job to maintain, so don't worry about, keeping the Sabbath. If you got to work, you got to work, all right. Or you don't have to wear fringes. Fringes is only for remembering the laws. But if you read it properly, it have that little word in there that says "and" at the beginning of verse 38, I think it is. So that's actually a conjunction word that's adding on to keeping the law of wearing the fringes, man. Now, that's not saying that you have to wear the fringes every day, but you have to wear them sometime. So you can't use the excuse of, oh, that's just because, if we want to remember keeping the laws of the Most High, we keep that on. No, but it's actually a law and a commandment to wear the fringes of the Most High, man. As a matter of fact, let's go to that. Not to digress off 2 Peter, but just to make my point, right? So we're going to go to the book of Numbers real quick. All right, so we're in the book of Numbers, chapter 15, and we're going to start at verse 37, and it says here, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, Salakia, and bid them, okay, bid means to command, okay, and bid them that they make them fringes on the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribband of blue. All right. So this is what the Most High bade us to do, man. This, as I said, that's a commandment for us. When you bade someone, you put out a decree. Okay, you put out an order for someone to follow. All right. Verse 38 again from the top. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the border of the ribband of blue. Okay, now starting at the verse 39, Salaki, I said verse 38 before, right? But it's really 39. All right, so at the beginning of verse 39, it says, and it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Most High, and do them, okay, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart. Okay, so if you're seeking after your own heart, you're saying, oh, we don't have to wear fringes anymore, because that's just to remember the laws. But what it says here, it says, and do them, all right? So you're remembering the commandment of the Most High. And just as it says in verse 38, it says, bid them, okay, command them that they make them fringes on the border of their garments, all right? Now going back to verse 39, and ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring, okay? That ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God, your power. I am the Lord, your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord, your God, all right? And the reason why I'm saying Lord, your God is because it's really nothing pagan about using the words Lord and God, because Lord just means someone who rules over you, and God just means power. All right. So there's really nothing off or pagan about using it. You know what I'm saying? That's just basically titles. You know what I'm saying? It's monikers. All right. It's not an actual name. Okay. Now, if I'm calling them another name like Allah and Muhammad and Buddha and Krishna, then I got a problem. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm just saying Lord, it's just titles, man. That's all that is. All right. All right. So back to Second Peter, and we're going to go back to verse 18, and it reads, for when they speak great swelling words of vanity, they allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error. Okay, so for those who live in error, all right, this is how these people are driven to sin, right? Verse 19, while they promise them liberty, they themselves are servants of corruption. So just like I was saying before, you know, all of our people that's so-called in hip-hop and R&B, all right, they're tempting our people to sin, causing them to murder, causing them to steal, causing them to commit adultery, idolatry, okay, causing them to covet other people's possessions, all right. This is what it says here, man. Verse 18 again from the top, as a matter of fact, concerning that. For when they speak great swelling words in their music, right, of vanity, they allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that are clean escaped from them who live in error. While they promise them liberty, okay, while the so-called higher-ups, the so-called Illuminati, all right, your secret societies promise them liberty from the hardships, from the oppression that they place upon our people on a daily basis, right? The atrocities that they do to our people, right? The wrongfulness, okay? While they place and promise them liberty, they themselves are servants of corruption, for of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. Okay, so they go right from one bondage into another bondage. All right, they think that they're getting out of bondage from the oppression that they're dealing our people on a daily basis, and they go straight into the bondage of serving them in sin. Okay, enticing all of our other people to sin. Okay, causing our people to serve Satan, all of these other false ideologies and gods and dogmas, and follow false vain philosophies. All right, leading them further and further away from the laws of the Most High and the belief in the one and only true Son, Hamashiach. All right, so this is what they're doing, man. They've driven themselves into other bondage. This because they're not being oppressed as your so-called regular Jake and Eve in the world, which is the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent. It's because they're not experiencing the normal, regular day-to-day oppression as they are. Doesn't mean that they're not in bondage to them, serving them in sin, destroying their souls, damaging their chances of making the kingdom by enticing our people to sin. All right, so they're in bondage themselves, right? As it says here again, verse 19 from the top. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are servants of corruption, for of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought into bondage. Verse 20. For if after they have escaped the pollution of the world through the knowledge of the Most High and the Savior Hamashiach Yahushai, they are again entangled therein and overcome, and latter end is worse than them than the beginning. All right, so they think that they came out of poverty, Salakia, by selling themselves to the so-called higher ups for filthy lucre and unrighteous mammon. And they think that they're living the high road. They think that they're living a big Willie lifestyle, with all of these cars and money, so-called big houses or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But this is what it says here, man. The latter end is worse with them than of the beginning. All right. So your latter end or their latter end is going to be far worse than how it was before they sold their soul when they was living in poverty. All right. But they just don't realize it because they're blinded by all of the illusion that the higher ups is dealing them. Right. Verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. Who's the them? That's the so-called 12 tribes of Israel. All right. So a lot of them, they know about the scriptures. They hear about it every day. They on social media every day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure they know something. They came across, brothers out on the street, on the highways and byways teaching this word. So they know about it, man. But you know what they do? They choose to ignore it because they're driven away by their diverse lusts and their wantonness and their covetousness after filthy lucre. All right, as the scripture call it, right? Which is money today. So moving along, we're going to go to the book of James, chapter 1. All right, so in the book of James, chapter 1, and we're going to go to verse 12, and it reads as follows. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Most High hath promised to him that love him. Okay, so if you love the Most High, you're going to be keeping yourself from temptation, which is sin, and you're going to serve him with a whole heart. All right. Verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High, for the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. So the Most High is not going to tempt you with evil, man. Okay. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. So if you're drawn away by your own lust, all right, your wantonness, your desires, okay, which leads you to sin, all right, then you're in sin, then you're in temptation, all right. So the Most High, he's not going to tempt you himself, you know what I mean? But because of your wanton eyes, because of your covetousness, all right, which is a breaking of the 10th commandment of the Most High, by the way, because of your wantonness, your wandering eye, then you're driven away by your lust, okay? Not the Most High's lust. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust have conceived, it bring forth sin, okay? What is sin? The transgression of the Most High's laws, okay? So if lust was a sin, why would it separate the two, okay? It says here, when lust have conceived, it bring forth sin. So that's not calling lust itself sin or desire itself sin. Sin is sin in itself when you're breaking the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments. All right. So you can't literally call lust sin or desire sin, because we all have lust and desire. We all want things, but if it drive us away to sin, that's when we're transgressing the Most High's laws, right? As it says here again. Then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. All right, so those are two different things, man. All right, let's go to the book of St. Mark, chapter 14. Okay, we're in the book of St. Mark, chapter 14, verse 38, which is the Gospels, which is written in red letter. So this is Hamashiach speaking for those who know. And it reads, "Watch ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak." Okay, so this is Hamashiach telling you, you got to always pray. This is the whole key to the thing. You got to pray, man, to keep yourself out of temptation, which is keeping yourself out of sin, keeping the wickedness at bay. All right, so you won't be tempted. Okay. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak. So when the Most High created us, naturally, he made us righteous in our spirit. We were willing to serve the Most High, but it's just when we grow old in this world, in this society, we're tempted with sin. All right, we're always enticed to sin on a daily basis and break the Most High's laws. Even in your so-called religion, they're enticing us to sin, telling us that we don't have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High anymore. All right, so we're always enticed to sin. All right, so to precept that, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Okay, we're in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7. And I'm going to go to verse 25. And it reads as follows, Salakia. Let me fix this mic. I applied my heart to know and to search and seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. Verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands are bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Okay, so this is King Solomon speaking. He said he haven't found anything more bitter than death than the woman who's of a sinful mind, right? As it says here again, right? And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape her. So if you're keeping the laws of the Most High, if you're fully and truly believing in the words of these scriptures, man, and following Hamashiach, which is the Most High's only begotten Son, then you're going to escape women like that. You're going to escape people that's sinful like that, man, that's full of traps and snares, okay? Evil and conniving, so to speak, right? Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Verse 27. Behold, this I have found, saith preacher, counting one by one, to find out the account which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Okay, so that's in conjunction with what we're speaking about in verse 26. Okay, so as this is, man, if you're not serving the Most High, man, you're going to be caught out there. All right, you're going to be caught out there by sinful women if you're driven by your diverse lust. All right. In continuation, lo, this only have I found, that the Most High have made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. Okay, so that's my point. All right, so the Most High, he's always made us a righteous people in the spirit. But as it says here, through King Solomon, we sought out many inventions, meaning we created false gods, false idols. We like to follow false philosophies and dogmas and ideologies, all right? We like to follow ancient Kemetic science, wear Egyptian unks, get the Haru eye tattooed on our eye or marked on our eye or whatever. Worshiping the Queen Isis, okay, which is the witch goddess, okay? What the Bible says about witches. Witches are an abomination unto the Most High. He doesn't even suffer a witch to live. There's no such thing as good witches, man. All right, because witches, they deal with the left side of the Most High, which is the demonic side. Okay, so this is what our people are into, man. So this is what it says when we searched out many inventions. Just like Hamashiach said in the Gospels, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Our fleshly carnal ways are weak. We're always eager and willing to sin. Okay, so that's what that's speaking about there, man. All right. Let's go to the book of Amos, chapter 5. Okay, we're in the book of Amos, chapter 5. And I'm going to go down to verse 9, and it starts. As a matter of fact, let's go to verse 8. And it reads as follows. Seek him that maketh the 7 stars of Orion. Okay, who that's speaking about? That's speaking about the Most High, the God of the Bible, man, the God of Israel, all right? Not the God of Islam, not the God of Roman Catholicism, not the God of religious Christianity, not the God of ancient Kemet, not the God of your ancient African ancestry, okay? Not the God of Hinduism, not the God of Buddhism, not the God of Taoism, not the God of Jainism, okay? Seek him that maketh the 7 stars of Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, and calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Most High is his name. Verse 9. That strengtheneth the spoiled against the strong. Okay, so the spoiled is the destroyed, man. The spiritually damaged, the spiritually broken, the brokenhearted, the lowly, the meek. All right, this is who the Most High is dealing with, man. He's not dealing with some prideful jerk, so to speak. All right, the froward person. All right, the arrogant person, the narcissist. Okay, the Most High is dealing with those people, man. He's dealing with the poor, the brokenhearted, the humbled, and the meek, man. As it says here again, that strengtheneth the spoiled, all right, which is destroyed, right, against the strong. Who's the strong? Just as I said before, that's the proud, the arrogant, right, the narcissist, the so-called sociopath, all right, the psychopath. So that the spoiled shall come against the fortress of the strong, so to speak, right? Let's jump down to verse 14, and it reads, Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the Most High, the power of hosts, shall be with you. We have spoken. Okay, so that's the only way the Most High is going to be with you, man. If you search the good and not the evil, okay? Concerning the scriptures, the good is the keeping of the law, statutes, commandments, and having full faith in him wholeheartedly and believing in his son, all right? The evil is enticing people to break the commandments, all right? Enticing people to sin, enticing people to worship other false gods, all right? So that's the reason why he says this again. Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the Most High, the God of hosts, which is your power, shall be with you, as ye have spoken. All right. Let's go to the book of Malachi, chapter 4. And I'm going to end that there. Okay, we're in the book of Malachi, chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads as follows. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day cometh shall burn them up, saith the Most High of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Verse 2. But unto you that fear my name, okay, the ones who fear the one and only true name of the Most High, all right? But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness rise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the staff. Verse 3. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord Most High of hosts. Verse 4. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant. Okay, what's the law of Moses? The commandments that the Most High gave Moses on Mount Sinai in the wilderness, when the Most High brought us out of Egypt, right? Our ancestors. Verse 4 again from the top. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb, for all Israel, okay, not for the whole world, okay, only for the so-called 12 tribes of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent, all right? For all Israel with the statutes and judgments, all right? So this is what the Most High wants us to do, man. He wants us to remember the laws, okay, that was given to Moses, man. This is what we're supposed to be doing as a nation of people, all right? So I'm going to end that there. Just like I said before, I didn't know that this was going to go as long as it did, but when you're in the spirit, it doesn't matter how long it is, as long as you get this word out, right? That's the most important thing. Okay, so hopefully that this video was enjoyable. Hopefully that it was gratifying. Hopefully that it was edifying for the people. Once again, this is your brother Yahweh Yasserah from the Sea Souls of Israel, the Rocks of Offense, and also the Ambassadors for Righteousness. Once again, dropping you this video. Until the next time, I say Shalom.